Greetings! I'm here today to talk about the process of breaking down the script and scheduling the script in the cloud-based application called Scenechronize. So, first things first, what I would recommend is that you sit down and read the script. Just read it, do it in one sitting, get a sense of what the characters are going to do, get a sense of kind of what the special requirements might be of this script, and then move to the computer and start the process from there. Then you're going to follow directions on how to open a free account in the program Scenechronize. Scenechronize is a cloud-based application that's great, it's free, and it allows you to break down the script and schedule it and generate all the reports that you're going to need to do for this assignment. Upload a PDF of the script that was provided and then start the breakdown process. That means every single scene gets its own breakdown page. Every breakdown page is a little list of all the things you will need on the day that you shoot that scene. So after you've completed the breakdown process, the next thing would be to go into the scheduling mode, and the tab on the Scenechronize program actually says strip board. Back in the day, production managers and assistant directors literally used this, which is an old school strip board. They would break down the script with breakdown pages, and then they would go through and write a strip, a cardboard strip for every breakdown page. They then schedule and decide what scenes they're going to shoot on what day. Each one of these black banners represents a day. These scenes are the scenes that are going to be shot on that day. So I thought it might be interesting to see that, since the whole Scenechronize program is set up based on people's understanding of this dinosaur, which probably is not going to be around for much longer. So that's it for the introduction. The next step, we're going to move to the computer, and I'll give you some pointers on how to start your free account with Scenechronize, upload the script, break it down, and schedule it. So now I'm going to show you how to upload the provided script into the Scenechronize program. At this point, you should have already gotten your free account set up by going to the Scenechronize website as explained in the module and getting your account started. So I'm going to go ahead and open my account. So this is opening at another project I was working on. So I'm going to click the Home button, and I'm going to click to create a new project, and I'm going to call it Test Script. And I agree to the policy. Really, what are my options? I have to. Okay, so now it says click to select script file. So I'm going to go into my PDF file. That's the one I want to upload. The date, I'm just going to put today's date. The color is white. Now this is a good teachable moment. You'll notice that all the colors of the various script revisions are on here. You always start with white, and the next time you make any changes, you issue those pages on blue and give them to the crew, and they go in and they rip out the corresponding white page and they stick in the blue page. The next revisions are pink, and so on. So since we're on the first one, it's going to be white, and now I want to upload the script. It's going to ask me, what page does the script start on? So obviously we have a title page, so really the script, the work starts on page 2, and that's what it says, so we're good. Continue import. The script does not have scene numbers. Would you like scene numbers to be added? Yes. Would you like VO, voiceover, and OS, off-screen, characters automatically added to the breakdown? No. That's going to be recorded in post. I don't need to have those actors as listed as needed on days that we shoot that scene if they're not on screen. We don't literally see them. So that's set up the way I want. Complete import. Okay, so here's some little stats. 68 pages, 108 scenes, 45 sets, 15 characters. Click on Go to Quick Reference. So if you'll see up here, it has several tabs that we can use, and the one we want to go to now is Breakdown. We want to see the script in the breakdown mode, and then later we're going to go into the strip board mode for the scheduling part. For right now, we're going to stay in breakdown. So as you can see over here on the right, we have a computer version of the breakdown page sample that you saw in the module. We're on scene 1. Across the top here, each one of these little boxes represents one of the scene numbers. And the program recognizes the characters by whether or not they have dialogue. Now, if you remember, in the beginning we said don't put in off-screen or voiceover characters, and in our first scene, of course, that's what we have, is nothing but. So it doesn't see them, it doesn't put them in there. So we're going to have to go in there. And this is the process of getting the elements out of the scene page and into the program. So we click on casting, and the computer has already identified all these characters. And so over here, Rojas is the first one speaking, so I'm going to click on Rojas. It adds him to the scene. Mariella is off screen also, so I go back to casting. We want to add Mariella. There she is. Great. So even though this reads as if they're off screen, it's actually a very dark interior car, and that's why they're listed as off screen, but really they are there the day that we shoot it. So I'm going to go ahead and put them there because that's what they need. Now the next thing you want to do is go down this list and decide if anything on this list is in this scene, and go ahead and add it. So casting is the only one that the program does for you. The rest of them you have to add them yourself. So I like to go through and just literally read it and plug things in as I see them. So small rays of orange light are let in through a small crack in the boards covering the back window. So that's not really a special effect, but since the writer has specified orange light, I'm going to add that to electric. I've written it in there, and I want to create a new element. There it is, it's checked. So now I know on this day, when we shoot this scene, we need to have orange light. Each ray gives us, oh, it also says boards covering the back windows of this interior van. So under transportation, since they're the ones that deal with picture vehicles, I'm going to put boards on window. So they know that day, have that there, have that ready to go. Each ray gives us a glimpse of the back of a decrepit van. 5 Hispanic girls, aged 20 to 30, are in various positions in the back. They're silhouetted. Now, I happen to know from having read the script before I started this, that one of these girls is Mariella. The other 4, we don't know who they are. So we never see them again. So I'm going to leave them, leave Mariella in there, but I'm going to add 4 Hispanic girls. To make sure that I have the right head count. And they are listed under extras because they do not have lines. They have no dialogue. All right, so we've done scene 1. Now up here at the top, you will have to create a description of what happens in this scene. The program doesn't do that, and it's very important that you do it so that when you're looking at all these scenes, you can tell by your pithy little police report style description that you know what's going on in that scene. So I'm going to put in here, Rojas terrorizes the girls in the van. Because I know this is the only scene that happens. If I put Rojas talks to girls, there might be 10 scenes where Rojas talks to girls. So I need to make sure that I identify this scene in particular, but also don't write a novel. Just put in something brief. Do not cut and paste the scene into this box. I've actually seen that, and that's not the goal. The other thing you might notice over here is that the program has identified it's a night, so just double check that. And then the page count, it is going to go ahead and count the page count for you. So it has decided that this is one page. It is one entire page. Starts at the beginning, goes to the end, and then white out to and cuts to the next scene. So as per the module, you should recall how 1 inch equals 1/8 of a page. When you are counting up how long a scene is, you base it on how many inches it is and convert that into eighths. And when you hit 8/8, it becomes 1 page or a whole page. The other way you can enter elements is by just highlighting. Let's move to scene 3. And we can go down here, scroll down. You can, instead of typing them into the boxes, which is my old school way, you can highlight. So here we have Grace rushes Matthew reading the paper. So you could highlight this and say that's a prop, paper, create new element. He puts on a smirk, lazy bums, pantry starts grabbing cereal, that's a prop. So you get the idea. You go through every single scene in the script. Every single scene has its own breakdown page. You need to write the action description or scene description yourself. You need to come up with that. And you'll know right away if you've missed it, because when you go into the stripboard mode, you will see that it's missing. So now you're ready to export. So go back to the breakdown mode, click on Reports, click on All Breakdown Pages. Report is ready, click to view. This is Safari, so it shows it to you in a web page, and you can just go down here to open with preview and see it. But most browsers normally just download the PDF file to your desktop. But this is what I need to see. I need to see all of your breakdown sheets so that I can check and make sure you've added things in the appropriate categories. Once you've gone through the entire script and every single scene has gotten broken down and has a breakdown page, you then go up here into the upper left corner and move from the breakdown mode into strip board mode. Now the first time you do this, it's going to ask you some questions. The first one is, name the board by what? So I'm going to name the board with my name so that when the professor downloads this to her desktop, she can find it by name as opposed to just script. So I'm going to put my name up there, and of course you would put your name up there. And I don't want to sort the strips by scene number. I want to sort them by sets, because that's the driving criteria when you're scheduling. Is I want all scenes of like sets to be scheduled on the same day. So I want all the interior kitchen scenes to be on day 1, and I want all the exterior pool scenes on day 2. Even though they're scattered throughout the script, I want it to do some of the work for me initially and just lump them together based on set names. So right here it notes include day breaks based on how many pages per day. This is another step that the program is ready to kind of rough things in for you on an estimate and saves you some of that dragging and dropping the strips around. So as you know from the instructions, the days have to have at least 2 pages worth and no more than 4 pages. So I'm going to put a 4 in there. And now it is going to create the board. So here we are in the strip board mode. You're going to go up here and start shooting on the first Monday of the next year. So whatever year you're doing this in this case, when I'm making this video, the first Monday in January of 2016 will be the 4th. As shoot day number 1, I'm using a 5-day week calendar. And up here it says day off days. I'm going to go with what they've already set up, which is Saturdays and Sundays are off. So now your calendar is established and it will do that for you already. So here is what it looks like. You saw the strip board that I showed you, and each one of these lines represents a strip, it represents a breakdown page, it represents one scene. Now it has arbitrarily sorted these by set name alphabetically. So I see here that scene 102 is night, it's 4/8 of a page, it's an exterior, it's the Bradley's house side yard. We don't have a location for it. Scene summary, this is where you will have filled in what happens in that scene, and it needs characters numbered 1 and number 6. So now I'm going to go back up here and start finessing it based on sets. Now this works for me because this is all estates at Lake Pembroke. So I'm going to move this one up in there so it lives with these, and I'm going to create a day break and put these in their own day and figure out what to do with them later. So right here I want a day break, and I can drag and drop this strip. So that's a problem, it's only 5/8, but I'm going to deal with that later. So right now I've got Bradley's house and elementary school kind of hanging out by themselves, but I've got this group of estates at Lake Pembroke working. Now I want to go in and move nights and days together, so I'm going to put, even though it's an interior night or an exterior night, I'm going to put it at the end of the day. And it's still too many pages, so I'm going to add a day break. And you can do this. You can add and say, we're going to take 2 days to shoot 5 1/8 pages. That will make it a little easier. Now here we're in foreclosed home territory, so I'm going to move this together to build a day out of this. 4 4/8, that's too much, and we're going to have to do more anyway, so I'm going to move one of these down to this day. 4 4/8, that's too many, so let's move a light one down to this day. 4 1/8, that's still too many. So I'm probably going to go back and massage these because I have a feeling that I can get these to work. So I've looked at this and I can see this is a 4-page day, that's good. This is a 4-page day, but now we're out of the foreclosed home and we're into Lee's garden shed. So I'm going to move this here. We have a lot of Lee's garden shed, so I'm going to go ahead and give that a day break. We're going to take 2 days to shoot that. Now we're into the attic. Backyard, let's get all the backyard stuff together. So the attic is a good day, that's 2 2/8 pages. Lee's backyard is 4 7/8. That's too many, so I'm going to move one of these big days down to here because we have more of that to do. 5 4/8. That's too many. So you're going to go through this process and massage this, as we say, until you get all of the days to be within the 2 to 4 page minimum and maximum, and also to make sense from a logistical standpoint. You don't want a day that's a hodgepodge of Lee's dining room, Grace's bedroom, the attic, the shed, and a scene out in the yard. I mean, you would never shoot it that way. It doesn't make sense to be moving around that much. So you want to keep things grouped together by set, and also day-night would be another consideration. Any night exteriors should go at the end of a day, or you can stick it on a Friday so you can start at noon and work late and they have 2 days off. So I don't want to see any days with an exterior night scene right in the middle of the day, because that would be something that logistically you could not pull off. So make sure that your schedule ends with a day break. Remember, you read up from these day breaks. And the next thing would be to output your schedule once you've checked it and gone over it as per the rubric and it really is as good as you think it can be. So now that you are ready to export your one-liner, make sure that you're in the stripboard mode. Click on Reports. You will see the one-line schedule. Do not click Stripboard Report. Do not click Shooting Schedule. One-line schedule, that's what you want. And it will ask you, I want all the dates. I want it in black and white. Okay. View Report. Depending on what browser you're using, it will download it straight to your desktop. But you can go through here and you'll see what the one-liner looks like. Now this one is obviously missing the action descriptions for the most part. Here's one, the way it's done correctly. So now you've created 2 PDF files, one for the breakdown pages and one for the one-liner, and that's what you will upload and submit for the assignment. And that's it for scheduling.